Let us have another problem. If 1 omega square are the okay. So if 1 omega and omega square are the cube root of unity, we have discussed the nth root of unity. So this 1 omega and omega square are the cube root of unity. That means let me change the color. That means 1 is here. From if you divide 360 into 3 parts, that is 120 angle, this 120 angle, this is omega, and again 120 angle, this is omega square. So 1 omega square. These are the 3 complex number, right? Which also lies on a unit circle. Which are the cube root of unity? That is 1 omega and omega square. So 1 omega and omega square are the roots of equation x cube minus 1 is equal to 0, right? So we have to find the roots of equation x minus 1 cube plus 8 is equal to 0. That means let us name this x minus 1 as say y is equal to x minus 1. Okay, so we have to basically find the roots of equation y cube plus 8 is equal to 0, right? So as we have seen, y cube is equal to minus 8, right? That means minus 8 can be written as minus 2 cube, isn't it? Minus 2 cube. So from the concept of cube root of unity, roots of this equation, that is y cube minus of minus 2 cube is equal to 0, must be minus 2 omega and minus 2 omega square, isn't it? That means y is equal to minus 2 omega and minus 2 omega square. Y is x minus 1. So x minus 1 is equal to minus 2 omega and minus 2 omega square. So x is equal to 1. Taking 1 this side, minus 2 plus 1, that is minus 1. X is equal to minus 1 minus 2 omega and 1 minus 2 omega square. So roots of this equation are minus 1 minus 2 omega and 1 minus 2 omega square, right? Okay. Now let us have a last problem, after which we are concluding this complex number lecture series. So we have a complex number, this complex number, tan alpha minus I times sin alpha plus sin alpha by 2 plus cos alpha by 2 upon 1 plus 2 I times sin alpha by 2. This complex number is purely imaginary. So we have to find the value of alpha for which this complex number is purely imaginary. A complex number is purely imaginary. What does it mean? It means that it has zero real part. That is purely imaginary complex number lies on this purely imaginary axis on our other plane. So we have 0 as its real part. So if we denote this, let us solve this. If we denote this complex number by z, z is tan alpha minus I times sin alpha upon 2 plus cos alpha upon 2 upon 1 plus 2I sin alpha upon 2, right? So if we denote this complex number by z, then real z is 0 as given. This is purely imaginary, so real z must be 0. So say if z is x plus iy, so how can we write real z? Real z must be, then z conjugate will be x minus iy. So z plus z conjugate will be equal to 2 times real z, isn't it? Because this plus this will be cancelling the imaginary part and we are getting 2x, x plus x 2x, which is 2 times the real z. So real z can be written as z plus z conjugate upon 2. So we have to first find the what is the conjugate of this value. Okay, so let us find the conjugate. Conjugate can be written as, say this is a complex number and this is another complex number. So we can write conjugate of this upon conjugate of this, that is tan alpha plus I times sin alpha by 2 plus cos alpha by 2 upon 1 minus 2 times I sin alpha by 2, right? Z and conjugate of Z is this. Okay, or we can simply solve this complex number, or we can simply solve this Z. We can simply find its real part and equate it to 0. This can also be done. Let us find its real part. What is the real part of this complex number? Tan alpha minus I sin alpha by 2 plus cos alpha by 2 upon 1 plus 2I sin alpha by 2. So for finding its real part, that means we are expressing in terms of x plus iy, z1 upon z2. So we are going to multiply this whole expression by 1 minus 2I sin alpha by 2 upon 1 minus sin 2I alpha by 2. So that is tan alpha minus I sin alpha by 2 plus cos alpha by 2 times 1 minus 2I sin alpha by 2, right, upon modulus of this number. What is the modulus of this number? 1 plus 4 sin square alpha by 2, right? Because this is square plus this is square, modulus of this is square, that means 1 plus 2I sin alpha by 2 into 1 minus 2 sin alpha by 2, which is 1 square minus 2I sin alpha by 2 square, which is 4 times sin square alpha by 2, right? Okay, now we have this expression as tan alpha minus this times this, which will minus I again I square, which is minus 1, which is sin alpha by 2 plus cos alpha by 2 into sin alpha by 2 sin alpha by 2, right, upon 1 plus 4 sin square alpha by 2. Okay, so this is the real part, right? We are not going to calculate the imaginary part. Why? Because this is purely imaginary, that means we are just equating the real part to 0. So no need to calculate the imaginary part. I, what is the coefficient of I? We are not going to calculate that. Because that hardly matters. This is purely imaginary. So we are doing the real part equating, we are actually equating the real part to 0. So the real part is tan alpha minus this multiplied by this, which is equal to I times I square minus of I square, which is equal to, plus of I square, which is equal to minus 1 minus this expression times this expression. Okay, so this is equal to 0. Actually a by b is equal to 0, that means numerator is equal to 0. So this value is equal to 0. So now we have tan alpha minus 2 sin alpha upon 2 sin alpha by 2 plus cos alpha by 2 is equal to 0, right? Or we can say that we can write tan alpha as sin alpha upon cos alpha, which is equal to 2 sin alpha upon 2 times sin alpha upon 2 plus cos alpha upon 2, right? Again, sin alpha can be written as 2 sin alpha by 2 cos alpha by 2. Using the same expression, sin 2 theta is equal to 2 sin theta times cos theta, isn't it? Is equal to 2 sin alpha by 2 cos alpha into sin alpha by 2 plus cos alpha by 2. Okay, we can write this expression, right? Now this 2 sin alpha by 2 and this 2 sin alpha by 2 will be cancelled, and we are left with the expression cos alpha by 2 is equal to cos alpha times sin alpha by 2 plus cos alpha times cos alpha by 2. So if we take cos alpha by 2 common by taking this to this side and taking cos alpha by 2 common, we have cos alpha by 2 into 1 minus cos alpha is equal to sin alpha by 2, right? Okay, so we have this expression now. We have the expression cos alpha times 1 minus cos alpha by 2 times 1 minus cos alpha is equal to sin alpha by 2. Again, from the expression 1 minus cos 2 theta is equal to 2 sin square theta by 2. We have cos alpha by 2 and this is 2 sin square alpha by 2 is equal to sin alpha by 2. That means again sin alpha by 2 will be is cancelled. Sin alpha by 2 and sin alpha by 2 is cancelled. So we have the expression cos alpha by 2 into sin alpha by 2, that is 2 cos alpha by 2 sin alpha by 2 is equal to 1. Okay, sin alpha by 2 and this cancelled sin alpha by 2. So 1 sin alpha by 2 here, 2 times cos alpha. That means sin alpha is equal to 1, isn't it? Because this is 2 sin alpha by 2 cos alpha by 2, which can be written as sin alpha, right? Okay, sin alpha is equal to 1, which means alpha is equal to pi by 2, 5 pi by 2, right? So alpha is equal to this sin alpha is equal to 1, that means alpha is equal to pi by 2, 5 pi by 2, not 3 pi by 2, because sin 3 pi by 2 is minus 1. So alpha must be equal to pi by 2, 5 pi by 2. Again, not 7 pi by 2, 9 pi by 2. Or we can write it as 4n plus 1 pi by 2. Okay, 4n plus 1 pi by 2. So we have alpha as 4n plus 1 pi by 2, for which real part of this complex number is 0 and the complex number which we are getting is purely imaginary. Okay, so from this we conclude the complex number lecture series. Thank you.